All right, guys, we have one question for Question Block. We do have a lot more questions, but episode 150 is next week, and we're saving a lot of the Question Block questions for that episode because we want to. Episode 150 is a big milestone, and we want to answer your questions and kind of celebrate episode 150 with answering your questions and stuff. But if you have a question, you should email us at nintendopalblock@gmail.com with the subject line Question Block. So. Sorry, I kind of lost my place in that. But anyway, Deshaun Malone writes in, he says, "Yo, Blockers. I was just thinking about my Switch and was wondering how y'all feel about the console after 2 years. Happy birthday, Switch." Yeah, today, right? No, tomorrow is the third, it starts year 3 of the Switch. And Switch is 2 years old as of tomorrow. Well, as of this recording. So, Sunday. It's been out for 2 years, and I think the Switch is pretty successful.
Like I stated, that it has changed gaming. It has changed the industry, in the sense that people want a lot of third-party games to come on the system, regardless if it's a port or whatever. And there's something about the Switch that is appealing to more people, casual, new, or hard, that makes them want to pick up the system. And it regardless if they've been 3DS owners, DS owners, or just Wii owners, something about Switch is being appealed to somebody, and more people are talking it over the big graphics of Xbox and PlayStation and even PC. There's still a discussion and talk about Nintendo Switch. So this system is not only a hit, universal, I would say that, but I think this kind of revitalized a lot of people in the gaming community and the gaming industry that I don't think no other system has in a long time.
Yeah, I think the Switch it does a lot of things right, and it also kind of hit in the right place where, like, this kind of generation that we're in now is a lot of people care more about convenience than fidelity. I think when Netflix came out, that kind of proved true, and it's kind of moving into games, and that's why you see digital downloads up year over year, because it's more convenient for people to sit on their couch and buy a game than it is to go to the store, buy it, bring it home, stick the disc in, and every time you switch a game, you want to switch the discs out. You know what I mean? Like, we're in this kind of generation of convenience over fidelity, and the Switch does that by being the handheld and the home console. And so you get awesome experiences in handheld mode like Doom and Wolfenstein and Skyrim and all these third-party games coming over, LA Noire even, and yes, moving into a kind of, hey, it's convenient because I can pop it in the dock, play it on TV, and then if I'm going somewhere, I can take it with me, continue my progress, and then continue it on the TV when I get home. That is the biggest draw of the Switch, and I think a lot of people are like, if they have a console at home like PS4 or Xbox, right, the Switch is becoming their quote-unquote second console, which is making it sell better because it's people's second console, so that means it's selling more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does a lot of cool things to differentiate itself, which Nintendo has always done that with its software. Zelda, Mario, whatever. Like, they've always been that company that differentiates itself from other companies, whether it's through software, through hardware like the Wii, portability like the Game Boy and DS lines. Like, they've always been that company, and the Switch is like that perfect amalgamation of everything they've done since the NES, to be honest with you. Like, they found a way to make a console that everybody loves in a certain way, right? Like, I actually prefer playing my Switch on the TV over handheld mode, but like, I do play it in handheld mode more than I would like to. I mean, to be fair, because like the baby and us watching TV and everything like that. But playing the Switch in handheld mode, like, I like playing it in handheld mode because I get to play games while I'm watching TV or doing something else, and then when my wife goes to bed or whatever, I'll just pop in the dock and play more on the TV, right? So, and that's just the hardware itself. Like, it's come out with some of my favorite games of almost all time, really. I mean, Breath of the Wild, for one, is an amazing game. Valkyria Chronicles is an awesome game. I can't wait for Fire Emblem. Like, that version of Fire Emblem is going to be awesome. I just had this. Oh, I can't wait for Fire Emblem.
But Jesse, what's your thoughts?
All right, yeah. For me, like, I think what it is it's kind of like back in the day, Super Nintendo, NES, they like video games were becoming, like a new thing, and it just like they just right away they hit it off because, it was just such a big deal.
Yes.
And then when you had the Wii, like they had that whole like the new vibe of like, being able to use motion and like, like breaking that stereotype of games just being people sitting around being lazy, and and that, like they brought something to it that would, change it and appeal more to like a broader audience. And then with this, I think what it is it's just kind of like what Corey said, is we're in an era now where like kids use tablets and people use their phone for everything now. Like, you can play games, like Fortnite and all that on your phone, and so like they just took that idea of seeing like the people kind of that are growing up right now in this era with tablets and all that, and they've found a way to appeal to those people and appeal to the people that are used to playing everything on a console where it just kind of sits still.
And like they've kind of played up. They tried that. I mean, they did try that with the Wii U in terms of like the tablet thing, but like they I mean, I like the Wii U, but like they found a way to kind of like streamline that with the Switch, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, you get all the best Wii U games on the Switch now anyway, but except for
and I think the problem with the Wii U though is it was still more of a controller than it was a tablet.
Yeah.
Like it like, yes, you could technically play stuff on it, but it was very limited.
Yeah, so single touch, no like pressurized touching, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just very limited. You couldn't like play actual like big full games on it like independently, as well as you can with the Switch. I think that's the thing, is unfortunately like with the technology at the time, like just wasn't quite ready to be able to do what the Switch needed to do. And that probably was that probably was what they wanted to do originally, but it just wouldn't have been cost effective because Nintendo's always wanted to be about trying to make an affordable system.
You stole the words right out of my mouth. You said the right thing with it.
Well, and I just want to add one more thing too that I think really helps this generation is the fact that all this stuff that we're seeing, just Nintendo in general as a company has grown like so much during the just these last couple of years. The fact that they were all in like right away on the crossplay, and just we can't overlook that part of it too as well, that I think has really helped make the Switch successful in many other ways. Like, I think that's the thing, is it's just like it's a really good time in general to be a gamer, and it's a really good time in general to own a Nintendo system.
They got away from being restrictive like the past was. Like they hopped on board, like you said, Jesse, with crossplay. They did region free, and that's been working for them because people have been doing a Japanese Nintendo Switch online in the Nintendo eShop and buying like Nintendo eShop points off of Amazon Japan and doing that stuff. And like, who would have thought Nintendo be like, no, we really don't want. No, Nintendo's just like, go ahead. It's there. You know how to do it. Have fun. The Nintendo Online, Switch Online, doing the family plan and stuff. Regardless of how people do it, putting in their $5 thing, it's working for them. So Nintendo has like become more open and stuff. Now, granted, regardless of whatever you want to take Nintendo Switch Online and all of this other stuff, you cannot deny, whether you're looking on social media, where you're talking to your friends and stuff, there's people talking about Switch. People putting pictures of, I'm flying to Thailand, I got my Switch with me.
Speaking of that, like that share button or the screen cap button on the system itself is genius. Like I know PlayStation did that. You know, and Xbox does it to an extent, but like a lot of times that stuff's like kind of Nintendo streamlined it is what I'm trying to say. It's not that those versions of the share stuff is complicated or anything, but like Nintendo, all you do is press the button and it takes the screenshot. You know, you don't have to like on Xbox you have to like press the select button and then press Y to take the screenshot.
Yeah.
And then like I mean, just eliminating that step, going into a menu and taking the screenshot is like, it's perfect, you know, and be able to like
video capture.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really used video capture that much on Switch, but like, I mean, I'm assuming it's the same way. You just hold it down, right? Yeah. So,
but you see a lot of that being used for a lot of people's media posts, and that's really cool for Nintendo because that just showcases on. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they could do that in the game. Let me buy this game. Oh, there's a 40% sale on it. Let me buy this game. Like,
all they have to do is add Instagram to your share posting.
Oh, good night. I think I'll start using Instagram once again. Everybody subscribe to Nintendo_P blog on Instagram.
That's like, I mean, for pictures and stuff, that's perfect. You know, just share it to Instagram and then it automatically shares to everything else. You know. But I digress. But just to kind of like wrap up this question a little bit, like I really think the name Switch kind of defines Nintendo this generation, not just the console, but the direction, like you were talking about, Ed and Jesse, like the way the company's moving in terms of crossplay and online stuff and playing nice with other companies like Microsoft and you know, helping Psyonix get Rocket League crossplay. Like they said, anything you need, you know, to make this work, to make crossplay work, you know, just, you know, they've really taken steps in the right direction. And yeah, their online is still a little clunky and slow, and their eShop needs cleaned up a little bit, I think, in terms of discoverability. But the Switch, I still think the Switch is probably the best console that Nintendo's made to date. And you know, and just taking the company in a new direction and playing nice with everybody, and the games are so good. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've thought about restarting Breath of the Wild just to play it again, you know, but I don't want to lose all 900 Korok seeds. That's the only problem.
Just make another account.
I did. I have a quote unquote guest account, but like, does the DLC if one person buys the DLC, can the rest of the accounts play it?
Nope.
No.
Nope. It stuck to that one account.
Yeah. See, like that's the thing. I want to play the DLC and stuff again too. I guess I could start master mode, but then it would just be too hard, and I don't want to do that. But you know, Odyssey has done super well. Like having Doom and Wolfenstein on Switch, like if I told you in 2017 that one of the most intensive first-person shooters of all time and Doom would be on Switch at some point, you would have laughed at me. Sorry, you would have. And like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look the best on Switch, but what's there is like pretty impressive.
It's Nintendo Switch put Bethesda in a new light.
I know.
And like, in fact, there's so much stuff on Switch that put them on a new light. Remember how whatever Konami did, it felt like all was forgiven when Super Bomberman R came out, and that sold a bajillion copies.
And you know, we got cool experiments from Ubisoft like Starlink and Mario plus Rabbids. Like, those are cool games. Like if I ever get this base fixed, or if I ever like get the digital version, which is on sale right now, by the way, for like $30, the digital deluxe edition where you get everything is like $30 right now digitally.
And that would be so worth it.
And then too, if the rumor of Game Pass coming to Switch, like Microsoft and Nintendo together, like that's another historic moment if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that's not if, it's when.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just when. You know,
I'm saying more that if because the Game Pass could be something completely different. I'm just saying on Switch, from what we normally think of an Xbox. But I'm just like, if it happens, that's just going to change. I'm like, that's just going to be changing gaming in general, and Nintendo Switch and Microsoft, like that will blow up a lot of people's mind. You would think that Microsoft would change the game with all it's trying to do, but Nintendo?
Look, man, if Microsoft puts Rare Replay, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Cuphead on Switch, like, man, just natively, you know, not even through Game Pass, just natively, which is kind of the rumor right now, at least for Ori. Look, man, Microsoft's been making some interesting moves. We've been talking about that on RSLX for a while, but like, you know, if you have Xbox as kind of like the service style thing, and you have Switch as your handheld and PlayStation as your kind of like beefy console almost, like everybody's going to be able to have the best of everything.
You have your universal console.
Yeah, pretty much. And so
I just thought of something. What if like for somehow like Xbox or Microsoft paid Nintendo to be able to put, like, it wouldn't be on the Xbox version but on the Switch version of it, like some of the Nintendo games would be in the
it would be like Rare Replay
in
Plus.
the game. Yeah. I mean, no, I just mean like actual like Switch games would be in the Game Pass.
Oh,
but they would pay Nintendo for whatever game they want to put in the Game Pass. But it would only be on the Switch version.
Would you charge $25 a month for it, or still keep it or $15?
I think it would be.
Still keep it.
To me, like, I mean, I know we're gonna probably talk about this later, and I kind of want to wrap this up because we have another pressing matter to talk about. But I think at some point Microsoft is going to look at Game Pass and be like, we're going to have tiered Game Pass subscriptions, right? Where like if you only have an Xbox or PC, you will get Game Pass for $10 a month, right? It's still going to be the same price on your Xbox. If you have PC Play Anywhere stuff, you can still play PC games there. But if you want to use our xCloud service and Game Pass, right? If you want to stream it to your Switch, your phones, your tablets, whatever, it's going to be $15 a month. And that way you'll have access on multiple devices, not just your Xbox, which I'd still pay $15 a month just to have that access, right?
And I would agree with you, Jesse. Microsoft did that. That's why I said 25, because I don't know what Nintendo would want to charge or extra. In case they be like, hey, you can now, if you pay the 25, go to an experience or something or whatever, you not only can play Nintendo on Game Pass on your Switch, but you can play it on Windows 10 and Xbox One. Like Nintendo would allow some of their games to be vice versa on their platform if they wanted to do that.
Yeah. Only through Game Pass.
Right, and with crossplay added on.
Yeah. Well, I still think a lot of the indie games and stuff, like, I think Wargroove is going to be the perfect example of having Xbox Live integrated into it as soon as they put that service on Switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of games are going to get that. So we'll see. But the Switch, 2 years old. I can't wait to have this conversation next year to see where we're at because of all this Microsoft stuff. Personally, because I think it would be super cool to sit down on my couch and play Halo on my Switch while I'm just watching TV or whatever. So my biggest question still, which we'll get to it on a different episode, but my biggest question is, will I be able to stream games from my Xbox to my Switch like Destiny or Apex or Anthem? You know what I mean? So, but that's a discussion for a different day. Just throwing that nugget out there. So, yeah, happy birthday, Switch.
Happy birthday, Switch.
Here's to another year, I guess. I don't know.